Subaru customers tend to consider themselves global citizens. They are very concerned about the planet. They believe climate change is real. They tend to be highly educated and they want to do something about it. So an EV totally fits with that mindset. And if we could come up with an EV for them that lets them do Subaru things, that's even better, right? Because one of our mantras at Subaru of America is ready for anything, go anywhere. And just because it's an EV, we did not want it to be a commuter car. We did not want it to be some kind of weird space pod city car. That means it has to have good ground clearance. That means it has to have a superior all wheel drive system. It needs to be able to handle very well in foul weather, off road, what have you. And also do other Subaru things like support bikes on the roof, trailer hitch, muddy dogs in the back, whatever. Making an EV opens up a lot of possibilities for us because this is a ground up EV platform. So it rides on the skateboard style platform where all the batteries are at the very bottom of the chassis. Instead of doing what we usually do and hanging a gasoline engine out in front of the front wheels, now we have the motor in line with the wheels, so we can stretch the wheelbase. There's nothing to hang in the front, nothing to hang in the rear. So that opens up so much more space for the cabin. We've got so much legroom in the back seat compared to some of our other vehicles, and a flat load floor, and we can get more playful with the styling. Like I'm sure you noticed when you sat inside that the cabin doesn't look very traditional. Like even the gauge clusters on that floating platform up by itself and with the big screen in the center. And since there is no transmission that sits right next to you, that whole area now is storage. So you can put your muddy boots, heels, purse, whatnot down there. Manufacturing an EV did present some challenges. I know that, or a lot of people know that safety is a huge priority. We are aiming for top safety pick plus from IIHS and 5-star from NHTSA for this car. And it's a little different versus crashing a gas car, because when you crash a gas car, you've got the engine and the transmission and everything to help absorb some of that impact. But on an EV, you've got a really heavy battery pack in the middle and you've got a motor right in front of it, and that's it. So we had to create a steel structure that envelops the motor that almost looks kind of like it could be an engine. And that helps absorb some of that load and also transfer it into the center of the vehicle, which is very strong. And also for side impact, like we don't want cars to directly ram the occupants or the battery. So there is a lot of high strength steel that's used as reinforcements along the side of the vehicle. So if you look at our makeup of high strength steels in this car, it's noticeably higher than it is on some of our other cars, not just because of safety, but because of weight. The batteries, as you know, are really heavy. So we're trying to offset as much of that as we can. So there's a ring of high strength steel like around the front and also in the back of the car. And also there's a lot of high strength steel like running sideways all the way down the body. So just trying to dissipate as much of that crash energy as possible. One benefit of this is off-road performance, because we don't have long overhangs in the front and the rear. You are able to get over certain kinds of obstacles more easily. And the instant torque from the electric motors makes off-road driving a lot more relaxing experience, because you can just creep right up to whatever rock it is that you're trying to drive over and crawl right over that. So that'll be interesting to see where that goes too with EV off-road. It seems that most of the competitors today are focused for on-road performance, and we are taking a Subaru track off-road with us. So we will have best-in-class ground clearance for this car, and of course Subaru symmetrical all-wheel drive, which is not just a marketing name. It actually, even though it is a completely different system from our gas cars, it does have to pass all of our internal standards for all-wheel drive, which it totally does. As far as making it look like an EV, a lot of the early research we did, our customer base, yes, they wanted something modern. Yes, they wanted absolutely something safe, definitely something electric. They specifically said, and I mean, like basically all of them specifically said, we do not want to be seen driving something that looks like a science experiment. So we did want to make this modern. We did want to make this take advantage of the EV proportions that a skateboard platform gives you. so that that longer wheelbase, short overhangs, and modern design, but not something that says, "Hey, look, I'm driving an EV." Like our customers are not into prestige; they're not into status. They don't want people going, "Hey, look, that guy's got a Subaru." They are confident in knowing that they bought a really good vehicle, and they don't feel the need to shout it to everybody. And that goes with an EV Subaru as well.